The first chance I actually got to see Sachin Tendulkar bat live was in 91-92 series when India came to Australia. India finished up losing the series 4-0, but Tendulkar left a very large impression on me. Firstly, he got the 148 in Sydney. Now, I mean, that was a magnificent innings. The guy was only 18 years of age. And when you think of the contrast in pitches, coming from India, where the bounce is much lower, to Australia, where the bounce is much higher, that to me is one of the toughest adjustments you've got to make as a batsman. To me, it's always much easier to adjust from the higher bounce to the lower bounce. Going the other way, I think must be, I don't know, fortunately I never had to do it, but I think must be an enormous adjustment. And to do it as an 18-year-old kid was, I thought, quite incredible. So I was highly impressed with Tendulkar when he got the 148 in Sydney. He went to Perth and I thought, this will be really interesting, you know. And also being a short player. There's no other pitch, it's unique, the WACA pitch with its bounce. And particularly at that stage, it's come down a little bit since then, but in those days it used to bounce a lot. And I've seen Australian players who play first-class cricket, Sheffield Shield cricket, and play a few innings at the WACA. And it usually takes them a few innings to adjust to the WACA if they're not from Western Australia. Here's this 18-year-old kid, he comes to Perth and he makes 114. And now, okay, he got more runs in Sydney, but to me, the innings in Perth was more impressive because here's a kid, 18 years of age. He's coming from low bouncing pitches to the highest bouncing and fastest pitch in the world, totally unique conditions, and he makes all the adjustments and he scores 114. Yeah, he was such a good player off the back foot. I guess the shot that always stands out for me with Tendulkar is, you know, when he goes onto the back foot and he just punches down the ground. There's no follow through with it. Boom, it's just a punch. And you know, his timing was so good, and he used that shot a lot in Perth. And it's not the easiest shot in the world to play on normal bouncing pitches, but on the extra bounce of Perth, it's and for a short guy, very, very tough shot to play. I was impressed with Tendulkar after I saw the 148 in Sydney, but boy, was I even more impressed when he got that 114 in Perth. That was a remarkable knock for a player of great experience, but for an 18-year-old, it was incredible.